And good afternoon. This is your friendly Tironan here, and this is World of Warplanes 2 with the Mighty Zero AM62. This is another turn and burn fighter, and you can probably tell by the tone of my voice I don't enjoy turn and burn fighters that much. Not because they're not fun, they are fun, but they tend to be slow. They tend not to have great firepower. And in the case of their itineration here, the guns overheat very quickly. But this is a nice aircraft from the aspect that its maneuverability is great. The weapons platform, it is a wonderful, smooth weapons platform. You notice as I move the mouse around, I can get directly on this thing and kill the target very quickly. Touch him right up. Now, this Boo fighter, and I will say it again, you'll hear it every video. Heavy fighters, they just adore, pray for the chance of being able to sit on your tail and let you have it. I'm under AA fire, which is why I'm still alive. Zero is famous for many things, but being able to withstand lots of punishment was never it, and it is reflected accurately in this game. Uh, Allied pilots, once they realized the weaknesses of the Zero, were more than happy to take advantage of it, run head on at Zeros, counting on their armor plate, their heavier engines, the ability of their engines to absorb damage, the fact that they had self-sealing fuel tanks so they wouldn't catch fire. The Zero could count on none of that. There was plexiglass between the pilot and imminent death. Plexiglass, people. There was no such thing as a self-sealing fuel tank. It just, what you got is what you got. And I see we have nobody contesting for the fighters, so we're going to have to head over and go around or through. And my compatriots apparently don't really want to go in here. We're going to try and go around because I need to repair this aircraft. It is shot up. And I didn't have but I think about 180 points on this Zero anyway. The boost on it is short. The speed on it is low. The range of the guns is great. The amount of damage you can take is very low. This is an aircraft that is not going to reward you for letting somebody sneak up behind you. You usually know because you're exploding. So you don't get a couple of seconds of warning before you get in real trouble with this aircraft. So if you think, think long and hard about the type of aircraft you want to fly. That being said, while it is a brittle sword, it is a very sharp sword. It is capable of raking just about anything out of the sky. And it is more than capable of delivering a hurt on anything that lets you get a good beat on it. Unlike the Nakajima, it actually has effective weapons. And I've had a lot of friends tell me this is in some ways because of that much better than the Nakajima ever was. And I tend to agree with them. This is can be a very fun aircraft. And now you see I'm quickly back up to my full health, all 180 points. I give you a comparison that a Spitfire delivers about 311 damage per minute or per second. A Corsair will do much more than that. These are aircraft you're going to run across on a regular basis. they will hurt you, and they will hurt you very quickly. So you've got to be aware, and you've got to be able to turn on a dime. If you suspect somebody's around you on your tail or coming in, um, turn first and ask questions later. Literally, not kidding here. All right, so high altitude fighter. Let me see if I can get something down here low, and I do. And he looks like he could be a good target for me. You don't want to ram anybody. You can't afford that. Always come back around, and you use your engine boost to come around in a frighteningly fast fashion. And because of the 20s and the 7.7s, never thought I'd be that happy for a machine gun in my life. It's actually a good aircraft armament on this. Actually enjoy it quite a bit. It isn't going to ever make you think that you don't need your Corsair for ground attack, or your P-38 for ground attack, or your ME-110 for ground attack, because that ain't it. But it's a good aircraft. A lot of fun. And provided you can stay alive, nicest thing about this is that you can quickly get on somebody's tail, you can light them up, and the 7.7s and the 20 millimeter will quickly make them pay for it. When you run across ground attack aircraft, it's got all the problems thereof too. You have to get in and make your attack, turn out of him, and finish him up. Okay, so the frustrating thing on this is you get good players that know what the weaknesses of this aircraft are. You can very much feel like you're being picked on in a corner. I'm not going to lie on that one. Just about how your opponents are going to feel when they get into a low speed turning contest with you, or a fur ball with you. It's pretty much where you point the aircraft, there it is. That's a 180. Okay, we've got Spitfire down up there. Maybe we can lure him down a little bit. We want to keep an eye on what's around you. It's not an aircraft that pays you to not have good situational awareness. I'm sorry to be acting like a jackrabbit, but having played this plane a few times, it's just an aircraft that you really, really, really want to pay attention to what's going on around you. That being said, because I had the 20s and I'm a fairly good shot, I actually was able to make him pay for getting close to me. We have three zones around here, and we're coming fairly close to winning this game at this point, so I am not going to go adventuring off into a fur ball and get killed in the last 2 minutes. I've noticed a very bad habit I have as a player, and that is that I love to die right about minute 4. I don't want to die at minute 4. And even at that, I'm coming in first, second, third more often than I want to think about, which makes me always wonder, how much could I have achieved if I had managed to keep my sorry tail feathers in the game a little bit longer. I always am going to urge players, and that includes myself most of all, to evaluate your gameplay. If you notice that you keep dying in a certain spot, or you keep finding yourself getting into situations and you getting your aircraft killed, take a look at what you're doing. It took me a while to figure out the meta of this game, which is that you just do not want to get in solo in a crowd. You're not going to survive it. It took me a while to figure that out, but there you are. Okay, so we came in 2 on that, which is amazing. I didn't think this is not a map that is very forgiving of turn and burn fighters, because as you see, you get to play in a bowl, uh, lots of open space for heavy fighters, and everybody's coming in at high altitude, which is not playing to the strengths of this aircraft. We shot down 7 aircraft, captured a couple of points here in summary. Did almost 6,000 and got a good amount of money, some good experience here. Uh, Team score came in second, and there you go. How does it compare? Let's look at the standard turn and burn fighters. Your gun armament is, in this class of aircraft, very good. Okay, much better than, let's take a look at the Nakajima, the Ki-43 Hayabusa. Gun armament is, because of the gun overheating, is horrible. Okay, Yak, much better survivability, but gun armament, you feel like you have to pack a lunch when you get on somebody's tail of or get on a heavy fighter's tail, because it takes so long to take them down with your 2 weapons. Maneuverability is probably second best in Tier 5. Nakajima is going to be better, but the Nakajima has issues itself. Airspeed, horrible. Horrible. And you say, well, Tier, listen, it's, yeah. There's a downside to any of these. Okay, these are the 3 turn and burn fighters I probably use the most. And the problem is that you can't close with adversaries that are faster. You can't chase down an opponent. You can't get up to high altitude when you see a bomber come in. So you're kind of stuck in an area and hoping that somebody comes into you, or you wander into a furball where everybody's turning and burning, and you can be effective then. But you almost feel like you're the 300-pound heavyweight stuck in a corner while the lightweights run in and beat the heck out of you. And so that's a little irritating with turn and burn fighters. That being said, this one's got some firepower to it, and some serious firepower to it, and it can take down even the heavy stuff given some time. You're not feeling like you're having to camp out nearly as much as you do with the KI or the Yak 1. And so that's something to be treasured in this aircraft. It is a far superior aircraft in that regard from the player experience, in my opinion, because of that. That's my opinion. Your mileage is going to vary. I have a good friend of mine who swears this is the best airplane in the game at this tier, and has the scores to prove it. I'm not nearly as in love with the turn and burn fighters. I kind of go towards the high altitude, high speed energy fighters like the P-51. We all have our likes and dislikes. And my idea of a turn and burn fighter is the Spitfire. Yeah. That being said, this kind of turns my whole perspective around with this aircraft. There, you can actually have some success with it, and I had some success with it. This has been the best experience I've had with these fighters in a while, and in a map that wasn't that friendly to it. So take it for what it's worth. All right, and the next, what's up next? Well, we have a video coming up for the F4U1 that should be out tomorrow. We will be taking a look at what I need to upgrade next. This is an opportunity for you all. I'm going to pretty much be a 1 video a day content provider. May change my mind and make it 2, but that's going to be my limit. You will not see 3 and 4 coming out from me anymore. That's just I have family, I have commitments, and I have other things I have to live up to, so I hope you can understand that. But I wanted you to, if you got a particular aircraft that you're just dying to see, I am halfway up into the tier 6 with my various lines here. If you just let me know what you want to see in a tier 6, if you want to see the successor to the Zero, the A6M5, tell me. I can put some silvers on that, and we can go ahead and bring it on in. Or if you want to see the upgrade to the P38, that's another one I can go. The Yak, what I'm planning to do, if I don't hear from a lot of you, is to bring up the Yak 1M next. A lot of people will play with it, but I want to make sure that I cover these lines as best I can. As I get more tokens, it opens up more hangar spaces for me, and then we can bring in things like more of the heavy fighters, for instance, something that I just love. But it's part of the game, folks. It's very hard to get along with them without that. And I will tell you that I'm developing a very healthy respect for the P38F, and I hope the J will be more enjoyable. And I'm really looking forward to taking a look at the Tiger Cat. So, those are just my thoughts for the moment. Listen, I want to take a moment and thank you very much for watching my videos. My subscription rate is going up, my viewership is going up, my minutes watched are going up, and that's all thanks to you. I'm grateful, deeply and humbly grateful. Thank you very much. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.